Today I'm going to be doing a review video on this cushion foundation. This is actually the second time I've tried to film this video just because I filmed it a couple of weeks ago, and since then I have tried other products that I kind of like more, so kind of changed a little bit of my opinion on this. But this is from Missha and it is called the Glow Tension Cushion Foundation. So first off, the packaging of this is so pretty. It's like this beautiful baby pink kind of metallic color, and then of course it has like the rainbow holographic packaging too. It's very nicely designed, very beautiful. So it's a little bit different than your standard cushion foundation because the actual like little packaging on the inside is a bit different. So it actually has this bit of like a domed surface, and it's much more of like a screen kind of mesh material. I will insert a close-up so you can get a better idea at what it looks like, and I will compare it to what a, you know, traditional cushion foundation looks like. And then of course you do have a mirror in here. I still have like the little peely thing in here. Let me peel it off. It's like, yeah. That never gets old. That never gets old. So there is the mirror in there, and then of course, like always, it comes with a powder little puff here. So I got mine from roseroseshop.com. So I've actually had this for, you know, about a month or so now. So I've definitely had a good chance to try it all out, but I have had so many foundations that I've been trying back and forth. So it's just taken me a little bit of time to, you know, try them all out equally and, you know, get a really good idea of what I think about these. So the price of mine from Rose Rose Shop was $13.72, and it has 15 grams of product, and it also has SPF 50. Mine is in the color Ivory, and there are actually 6 different colors of this foundation, which is a bit more than a typical Korean foundation color range. Now it's still not quite enough at all, and if you're any deeper than like, you know, a medium kind of skin tone, there's probably not going to be any color for you, which is so unfortunate. But there are at least a few more color options than your typical Korean cushion. So the 6 different colors, number 1 is Ivory. That is the color that I have today. Then it is Fair. Next is Vanilla, Beige, Sand, and Tan. So those are the 6 colors that they offer. So really quickly, I will get into showing you guys the application of this cushion foundation. I will show you a before and after, and also a real-time half and half, so you can kind of see what the foundation looks like on one side of my face and my bare skin on the other. So we'll get started with that now. I'm gonna actually apply mine with my beauty sponge. That's just one of my favorite ways. I feel like it takes me like half the time to apply it, and it just works out a little bit better for me. And I'm going to apply it to one side of my face so you can see a real-time half and half. I have the foundation applied to this side of my face, and this is obviously my bare skin side. The first thing I noticed with this is that it is a very good color match for me. This one I would say is definitely more of like a neutral to pink undertone to it, so definitely not yellow at all on me, which is perfect because I usually have a problem with having cushion foundations and foundations in general just leaning a little bit too yellow for my skin tone. So color match wise, this is an excellent match for me. And here is the up close. So this is the side with the foundation, and then this is my bare skin side. Another thing I noticed from the side by side is that there's not some extremely huge like difference between the two sides. Like it almost looks like this could just be like my nice skin. Obviously you can see like the color, how it really evened out my skin a bit, but it didn't make it look like I have like half my face painted with some foundation. You know, it looks very natural and skin-like, which is definitely one of the claims of this cushion foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it to the other side of my face as well and let you guys see what it looks like all over. Okay, and this is how the foundation looks all over my face. So the one thing I noticed, it does have a little bit of that kind of wet foundation feeling that I find is very typical with a lot of Korean cushions. This one's definitely not the worst one I've ever tried when it comes to that like super wet slick feeling. I think the worst one I've ever had for that was the Etude House Any cushion. That one was just so like slip and slide all over my face. It was definitely not one I enjoyed too much. So I'm going to go and finish off the rest of my makeup, and I will come back and let you guys guys know what I think about this foundation. And of course I have finished my makeup and this is how it all looks together. So a little bit about my thoughts of this cushion. So number one, I really like the packaging of it, like just visually it looks nice, but the functionality of the mesh screen I also like a little bit more than a traditional cushion foundation, because when they are brand new, I find that they work really well and they're super saturated and things like that. But once you start, you know, using it after a few weeks and the product starts to obviously be used up, I find that sometimes it can be a little hard to get the product out of those sponges just because it really just sucks up all the moisture of the product, and you have to like press really hard to get in there, or you have to kind of like squeeze the product out, and sometimes it can be a little bit messy. But what I like about this one is the actual like little mesh screen makes it very easy to press out the product. Now I will have to use it more and see as time goes on, do I have that same kind of issue? But after using it for about, you know, 2 to 3 weeks now, it still is very easy to actually dispense the product. So that is one thing I really like about packaging wise of this product. As far as the actual formula of the foundation, now the first thing I noticed that I forgot to mention, it almost kind of smells like lilies or like gardenias, that kind of floral scent to it. It's not super heavy. It's a little bit more of like a lighter floral scent, but it definitely is there. So if you are someone that does not like any scents to their foundations, then just know that this one definitely does have a scent. It definitely does not stay on the skin or anything after application. You know, you can smell it when you're applying it, but once it's dried and it's been on your face, I can't smell it at all. So as far as the color match, I feel like for my skin, it is really nice. It is not too yellow. I would definitely say this leans a little bit more towards like a neutral to pink undertone in it, which is definitely good for my skin tone. And the texture of this foundation is definitely one that I would say you might be better off applying less of this product than you think. Sometimes we try to build up our foundation so much that it really kind of ends up giving this very slip and slide kind of texture on the skin, especially with Korean foundations I have found. So with this one, I definitely think less is more. It's gonna be a more like skin-like kind of coverage to it. So you're not gonna get this like super, you know, full coverage look with this, because the whole point of this line is kind of like more of like just your skin but better. So it's glowy and, you know, just really nice looking and not cakey or super high coverage. So if that's something you're looking for in a foundation, or a cushion foundation rather, this is probably not the one. Now I do think I do get a really nice amount of coverage to it, but it's nothing extremely over the top. And although it does have a little bit of that kind of, you know, wet feeling to the skin, I've been wearing this for about 2 hours now since I've been filming other videos, and it doesn't have like a wet feeling to the skin. It just has like a really nice lightly set foundation, and I only applied powder to under my eyes and a little bit on the bridge of my nose, but the rest of my face I did not powder because I wanted to see how this foundation would react on its own on my skin. And as far as the finish of this, I would definitely qualify this one as a satin kind of finish. It's definitely not extremely glass-like or really dewy, but it's also nowhere near a matte foundation. So overall, I would give this one a pretty much middle of the road. If we're going from glossy to matte, it's right in the middle at satin. But you can still see like some areas, like maybe on my chin, you can see there's a little bit of a breakthrough that I have that you can still see a little bit, but overall it did pretty much even out the skin. But when I first filmed this video, I had kind of given this one my top spot for out of all of the cushion foundations I have tried. But since then, I had actually tried another cushion foundation, and this one is unfortunately my absolute favorite. Not unfortunately, but this one actually is my top favorite, and one I would recommend over all of the other foundations, cushion foundations I have reviewed so far. And that one is the Tony Moly Hot Edition, you know, Fire Noodle cushion foundation. I love this one so much. Number one, it's so much thinner than the, you know, traditional cushion foundation, so it's like not as bulky, so it's easier to like, you know, throw in your purse or take with you or travel with. And you know, I have a whole review on this one as well, so if you definitely want to know more what I think about this one, definitely check out my Fire Noodle makeup collection video. And this one's just, it's my favorite. Since I made that video, I have been using this one every single day, and I have not gone back to a regular foundation in a couple weeks now, which is saying a lot because I like cushion foundations, but they're not something that I find usually to use all the time. This one I've just been going back to non-stop, and it's been really, really good. So I do have to give my top spot to this one, but this one I definitely do think is, you know, maybe like a number 2 or a number 3 as far as all the ones that I have personally tried. If I was still rating this from before I tried the Tony Moly one, this one probably would have been like a total buy for me. But honestly, since I've bought that one, this one's really just kind of fell to the wayside for me. I mean, it's beautiful and it looks nice and it's great, but would I repurchase this one over the Tony Moly one? I don't think I would, but I still think it's worth a try if you are, you know, really into cushion foundations like I am. Then I think this would definitely be a good one to try out. So overall, I give it a buy. Not a super strong buy though. Just hopefully this video was helpful in giving you a little bit of my thoughts about this cushion foundation. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.